Sorry for the delay. Come to our topic. Plasma membrane. So, as I am teaching you, try to write whatever I am writing on the board. Maintain a separate classwork. Again and again, we are insisting you on this. Don't neglect. Okay, so come to the topic here, plasma membrane. In this, today we will discuss about one activity to understand exo and endoosmosis. Understand the activity of exo and endoosmosis. Okay, so what you have to do? Aim of the activity. The aim of the activity is to prove exo and endoosmosis. To prove exo and endoosmosis. To prove exo and endoosmosis. Then materials required are apparatus. Materials required are apparatus. Beakers, take beakers, then water, Ra-X, tissue paper, then chemicals are hydrochloric acid, then you have to take salt, water I wrote here. Then next is procedure. Procedure of the experiment, listen carefully here. Take two beakers, and in this you take dilute hydrochloric acid. Instead of dilute hydrochloric acid, you can take the toilet cleaner acid also. You can take dilute hydrochloric acid with both the beakers. Then add 2 Ra-X to these 2 beakers. Keep it for 4 to 5 hours. Keep it for 4 to 5 hours. Okay, that is our procedure. Take 2 beakers, take dilute hydrochloric acid. Concentrated hydrochloric acid you mix with water, it will become dilute. Take dilute hydrochloric acid. Instead of that, you can also take this toilet cleaner acid also. These 2 beakers, 3/4 toilet cleaner or dilute hydrochloric acid you take, and take 2 Ra-X into beakers. Keep it for 4 to 5 hours. After that, remove this 2X, wipe it with the tissue paper. Wipe this 2X with the tissue paper. Take the blank white paper you take, and prepare a scale to measure this. Okay, then keep 2X on the white paper and measure the circumference of the 2X. They are similar in size. Okay, then remove the shells of this. Remove the shells of this 2X. Now what we have to do is remove the acids from this. Then to 1 beaker you add water. To the other beaker you add salt solution. In 1 beaker you take water. In another beaker you take salt solution. 1 beaker you take water, and the other beaker you take salt solution. Now the circumference of the 2X are same, which you kept it in hydrochloric acid. Take this 2X, D shell. D shell is nothing but removing the shell of them. Then take this 2X, keep it in these 2 beakers. And put this beaker and this beaker, then keep it for 2 to 4 hours. Keep these 2X in these 2, water, 1 egg, salt solution, other egg. which is de-shell, already kept it in hydrochloric acid. After that, we are de-shelling it. Then keep it in one beaker, you add one egg, another beaker, you add another egg. Keep this entire setup for 2 to 4 hours. After that, again, remove these 2 eggs. Remove these 2 eggs. Wipe with the tissue paper. Wipe the 2 eggs with the tissue paper. Again, observation is keep these 2 eggs on the white paper. Keep these 2 eggs on the white paper. The egg with water. Sorry, the egg with water. Egg with salt solution. Keep these 2 eggs on the white paper after 2 to 4 hours. White paper and keep it on the white paper. Okay. Then egg with water, which is kept in water, and egg which is kept in salt solution. Then with the help of measuring scale, or we can prepare your own scale with the help of white paper by marking on it. Then you can see before the experiment, the eggs are in same size, but after the experiment, after keeping them in salt solution and water, you see that the egg which is kept in water, the egg which is immersed in water, it will undergo the swelling. The egg which is kept in water, it will undergo the swelling process. And the egg which is kept in salt solution, it undergo the shrinkage. Means it will become small in size. As the size is same, here the size increased, here the size decreased. Why this increase and decrease of size is seen? Because we understood that this undergo the swelling and this undergo the shrinkage. That is our observation. By this observation, what conclusion we can draw? By this observation, what conclusion we can draw from this? Okay, by this observation, one egg is when we measure, they are same in size, both are same in size when we are starting the experiment. But after the experiment, one becomes smaller in size, the other becomes bigger in size. Why these changes are seen? What happens here? Okay, so why this egg becomes small and why this egg becomes big? This is our observation, and what conclusion we can draw this. By this we can draw the conclusion that the egg which is kept in water, it undergo the swelling. Why it undergo the swelling? It absorb the water. It absorb the water from the beaker. It absorb the water from the beaker. It absorb the water from the beaker and it undergo the swelling. Such a process of absorption of water from outside to inside of the egg, it is called as endoosmosis. It is called as endoosmosis. Movement of molecule from low concentration region to high concentration region. It is called as endoosmosis process. So solvent molecule water is moving in this into spread. That process is called as endoosmosis. It is here. That's why the egg undergo the swelling. Then what happens here? The egg undergo the shrinkage. The egg becomes smaller in size. The egg becomes smaller in size because it lost the water from it. Lose the water from its body and it undergo the shrinkage. Such a process is called as exoosmosis. Such a process is called as exoosmosis. By this activity, we are understanding the exo and endoosmosis. Movement of molecule from low concentration region to high concentration region across the permeable membrane. Such a process is called as endoosmosis. It will move inside the cell, inside the egg, it is endoosmosis. The water move outside of the cell, it is called as exoosmosis process. So when it is kept in salt water, it is endoosmosis, and here it is exoosmosis, and here it is endoosmosis. Okay, this is the activity to understand exo and endoosmosis. The next topic is just write down this. Write down this. I'll explain the next topic. Next, we discuss about reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. To do this process, we require the machine called as reverse osmometer. Reverse osmometer. Okay, so next topic is reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis, we can take the definition as diffusion also, but we cannot take exactly the diffusion process because we require the semi-permeable membrane, that is plasma membrane we require here. That is semi-permeable membrane we require here. Okay, so where this reverse osmosis is used? Till now we are using this reverse osmosis process to get the salt which we are eating, sodium chloride. NaCl, common salt which we are eating to taste our food items, without which we cannot taste any of the food items, that is salt. Okay, that salt is prepared by this reverse osmosis process. We are getting salt by reverse osmosis process only. What is reverse osmosis? Movement of molecule from high concentration region to low concentration region across the permeable membrane. What is the definition of diffusion? See, movement of molecule from high concentration to low concentration region. But in diffusion, we don't require the plasma membrane. If it is there or not, it is not giving any problem. But here, reverse osmosis, movement of molecule from high concentration region to low concentration region across the plasma membrane or semi-permeable membrane. Okay, as you know, majority of our earth is covered with oceans, salt water, marine water we call it. The marine water is not useful for us for our daily life. So for that, we have to fresh that water. So how can we fresh that water? By desalination process. By desalination process. So what is desalination? Desalination is nothing but removing excess salt. Removing excess salt. Removing excess salt from water. Removing excess salt from water. That process is called as desalination process. So how will do the desalination process? So majority of the water, 1/3 of the earth is covered with water, but that water is not very useful for us. So what we have to do, we have to remove the excess amount of salt from it for our fresh use. So fresh water we call it. So that process is done, which is called as desalination process. And the mechanism followed there is reverse osmosis process. So what is the reverse osmosis process is? They are preparing the semi-permeable membrane in 3 layers. 3 layers of semi-permeable membrane is arranged across the oceans and all, and the salt water is passed on to this semi-permeable membrane. The salt water is passed on to this semi-permeable membrane. As a result, what happened here? The entire salt is absorbed by the semi-permeable membrane, making the water, filtering the water to pass over to these regions. This is nothing but fresh water. This is nothing but this fresh water. The salt will come as here. It will evaporate and forms the water from this salt evaporate and it will form the crystals of salt. It will form the crystals of salt. Salt crystals are formed. So here osmosis is taking place, evaporation is also taking place. The filtration process is also taking place. Here from the semi-permeable membrane, the water, fresh water is filtered here by removing excess amount of salt. By the permeable membrane, osmosis will take place and the water is getting filtered here. The excess amount of salt which is there here, it will just collected in the lagoons and the evaporation process will become huge crystals. Till now the same process is carried out but it becomes somewhat advanced by using the machine called as reverse osmometer. Reverse osmometer. So what is the reverse osmometer arrangement or machine is? You can see it is like a box. The machine is like a box. It's called as reverse osmometer. Here across this the permeable membrane is arranged. Semi-permeable membrane called as plasma membrane in living, and non-living it is called as semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane is arranged here. Pressure flow machine is there. Pressure flow machine is arranged here, and from this side the water is flowing. Here it is giving the pressure to the water. When the pressure is applied here, the water move over the plasma membrane. Then the water gets filtrated and the pure water will move up to this way. Pure water will move in this way and the impure water will get down. What is the impure water? It is nothing but having high amount of okay, so such a process done with the help of machine. You go to the ocean to see this. At your home also you will see water plant, water purifier, Kent, all these different manufacturers we are using. So that is RO. Reverse osmometer, reverse osmosis process. Even in our school also we have the water plant. We have the water plant. What it is doing the reverse osmosis process. Hence they are called as ROs. But once upon a time we used to have the filters made up of candles. They have the filters in these candles. These candles are made up of calcium and all. The water is passed here. These candles used to absorb the excess amount of salt, and the water is used to be collected here. This system have a tap here. From this we are collecting the pure water, fresh water. The salt is absorbed by this candles composition. And what happens if it absorb and absorb and absorb, and after some days it will become useless. Means it will not do function. Then we have to replace it again. We have to replace it. This used to be called as filters, where it is filtering the excess amount of salt. It is acting like permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane. But after that, purite came. What is purite? Purite is purite. We used to have a charcoal box in this way. This charcoal box used to absorb the excess amount of salt, passing the water here in the another chamber, which is a fresh water. Okay. And now the technology, as the technology improves, we are using in every home we are seeing the RO water plant. Okay, so what is that? It is nothing but reverse osmosis process doing by a machine called as reverse osmometer. Okay, so water plant we call or water purifier we call, which we are using with different brands like Kent and all these things which we are using at home. Just to observe that, you can see the machine which is there with that, it is reverse osmometer, and it is doing the reverse osmosis process. What it will do, it will remove the excess minerals and salts from the water and purify the water. The water which we are doing, it will be no teacher, if you did like that only. You did like that only, excess minerals consumption, excess salt consumption will take place and it will accumulate in your body, which leads to different diseases like arthritis, osteoporosis, such type of diseases, high blood pressure. You will get such type of problems if you are taking excess of minerals and salts. To avoid that problem, we are using the ROs at home also. Normally we call it as water plants, water purifiers we call it. So in such a way, reverse osmosis process is useful in our daily life. Okay. The next, coming to the next is Graham's law of diffusion. So we studied diffusion, right? Diffusion in physical and physiological process, different examples. We studied diffusion by taking different example. That is reverse diffusion in physical and physiological process. Means physically how diffusion is taking place, where diffusion is taking place, and physiologically in our body also, in plants as well as in animals, where the diffusion is taking place in our body is studied. So who was the scientist who worked behind this is? The scientist who worked behind this is Scottish called as Graham. Okay. Scottish called as Thomas Graham. Okay, Thomas Graham, he was a Scottish. He studied both physics, he is a physicist, as well as a chemist. Means he studied both chemistry and physics. He worked on diffusion of different gases and studied the rate of diffusion of different gases is different. And he said that more soluble substances diffuses faster than the less soluble substances. He said that more soluble substances diffuses faster than the less soluble substances. Such a process of solubility is called as Graham's law. Graham's law of diffusion. Graham's law of diffusion. Graham's law of diffusion. Okay, this is a small topic which is given in below. The next come to the annexure part. In annexure part, they have given you about hypertonic and hypotonic solution and living and plant and animal cells. Okay. So what is the effect of solutions? What is the effect of solutions on our cells? Okay, as you know, plant cells are covered by cell wall. Plant cells are covered by cell wall, and animal cells are not covered by cell wall. They have only cell membrane. So here two solutions are taken. One is hypertonic solution. The other one is hypotonic solution. So we should understand what is hyper and hypo. Hypertonic solution is nothing but the solution in which solute concentration is more. In which solute concentration is more. Hypo means the solute concentration is less. We are taking that. And in this we are adding the animal cell and plant cell. Hypertonic solution to take here and hypotonic solution to take here. To this you add RBC, red blood corpuscles. Then here you add plant cell, animal cell, plant cell, animal cell. Take here and keep it for 2 to 3 hours. Keep it for 2 to 3 hours. Then what do you observe here is plant cell is not showing any change here and here also. Plant cell is not showing any change here. Why? Because they have the extra layer over them, which is called as cell wall, which is giving protection to them as it is made up of cellulose. Plant cell is not showing any change in hypertonic or hypotonic solution. Why? Because they are covered by the cell wall made up of cellulose. Whereas the animal cell, that is red blood corpuscle or red blood cell. If in hypertonic solution, the red blood cell will become small, it will shrink. The size of this red blood cell is somewhat bigger, it undergoes the shrinkage, becomes small in size by shrinking. When it is kept in hypertonic solution. When it is kept in hypotonic solution, again the animal cell is showing the change, the red blood cell is showing the change. It is undergoing the swelling of its size. Means it will become larger in size than its previous size. Okay, it absorbs the water from the surrounding and it undergo the swelling. Here it lose the water and undergo the shrinkage. Okay, in such a way, this cell membrane is acting like a permeable membrane and allowing certain substances to pass inside and to pass outside. Okay, in such a way, our plasma membrane is helping to protect. Okay, and if it is undergoing excess amount of swelling, it will burst. It will swell and swell and swell and it will burst. It will undergo the shrinkage and shrinkage and shrinkage and it will die. This is about hypertonic and hypotonic solution. When different cells are kept, they will show the changes because of the plasma membrane, which is acting like selective permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane, impermeable membrane. Okay, in such a way we will see the differences. Then the last topic here is just a live example is given, which already you know. I think we have experienced this. Like when you are going out for a long journey or you are traveling in a bus, you feel that you are thirsty. feel that you are thirsty. When you are going for a journey, like you are traveling in a bus or you are traveling in a car, you will feel thirsty. You have the quench of thirst and you want to drink something. And when you go out, you are not feeling that you should drink water. But what you will prefer to your parents? You will prefer to your parents that you want cool drinks. You want Maaza, you want Tang, you want what we can say, Thumbs Up, you want Sprite. This you will offer to your this you will refer to your parents. You want this, you want that. In a car, if you are traveling, if you dehydrated or you are feeling the quench of thirst, you will ask to your parents, you want cool drink. But when you drink cool drink, a little amount of cool drink will make you sufficient of your thirst. Your thirst will subside, but after some time again you will start feeling thirsty. Why this happens means the cool drinks are mixed with sugar and carbon dioxide gas. All the cool drinks are mixed with sugar and carbon dioxide gas, which is not good for your health. Meanwhile, means time being they will subside your thirst, but after some time again you will start feeling thirsty. This is why it happens means all the cool drinks are mixed with sugar with carbon dioxide gas. Okay, hence you should not take that. Instead of that, if you take water, plenty of water, you are able to drink at that time, which is hydrating complete body. At the same time, it will not give you any side effects afterwards also. In such a way, don't take cool drinks when you are going out. Instead of that, you take water. Normal water you take. You take cool drink and water. You can sip half liter or 1/4 liter of water, cool drink at a time. You can sip, but you can take 1 liter of water at a time, or at least half liter of water at a time. You can drink, which is making your complete body hydrated. But cool drink may not do like that. And it is mixed with carbon dioxide gas. It is not good for your health. Okay. The next is when you are going for a long journey. At last, to wind up the lesson, we have some useful information here. When you are going for a long journey, what you prefer, what your mother is preparing, you are seeing that your mother is doing some special things so that we are in a long journey for 2 to 3 days. We are taking the journey, then we are reaching to our destination. What your mother will do? She will prepare kurkure, she will prepare chips, she will prepare murkul, all the oily fried items your mother will prepare. Even biryani, you are preparing. All these your mother will prepare and she will pack and she will give you in your journey. But this is also not good for your health, which is dehydrating your body, as they don't have any water in them, and they'll add to your thirst also. You feel more and more thirsty after eating chips. Soon after eating chips, you see children will ask water. Why this happens means it is not a hydrated food. It is a dehydrated, means no water is there in that and excess amount of salt is there. It is making you to drink water. Okay, so avoid eating chips, avoid eating kurkure, avoid eating oily fried items, deep fried items and all while you are in the long journey, because after coming from your journey, you will start feeling sick by motions, vomitings and all these things happens in your body, and you will feel discomfort. Sometimes you may suffer with fever also. All these consequences we'll see. Okay, so to avoid this, useful information is given in your book. Go whenever you are going for a long journey or short journey or whatever it is, when you are going on, prefer for fruits instead of fried items. Children will easily attract for this chips and all by seeing their packets, which are very attractive. So don't go through it. Try to take the hydrated fruits. Try to take the hydrated fruits like watermelon, grapes, apple, which is good for your health, which is not going to show any side effect on your body, and which is making your body hydrated to avoid all types of diseases. Even if you come across pathogens and all also, there is no chance of suffering with the disease because your body is hydrated. Drink plenty of water and take hydrated fruits instead of taking cool drinks, instead of taking deep fried food items, oily food items and all. Try to prefer more and more water and try to prefer more and more hydrated fruits to keep your body hydrated and to avoid the further consequences. Sickness in your body after returning or in the journey also, there is a chance of suffering. So better to avoid that. With this, we'll wind up the lesson. And I want to say some important things. Many of you, especially boys, you are neglecting your classworks. Please try to write classworks of all subjects because you have to submit it to promote to the next class. Next thing is, what are the important questions we are expecting here is, for 1 mark, define osmosis, define diffusion, who first did dialysis process, what is dialysis or define dialysis, what is reverse osmosis, how it is useful. These are the 1 mark questions. 2 mark questions are, write the differences between diffusion and osmosis. Write the differences between diffusion and osmosis. Next 2 mark important question is, write the functions of diffusion in our daily life. Very, very important question. Write the importance of diffusion in our daily life. Next, write the importance of osmosis in our physiological process. Write the importance of osmosis in our physiological process. These are the expected 2 mark questions which are repeatedly asked. Next 4 mark questions are activities. All the activities you have to be thorough. Filtration activity, osmosis activity, sometimes they will give in bracket, kishmish activity you write, potato activity you write. So which they are asking, that only you have to write. So you write this in your class box. Potato activity, kishmish activity to osmosis, diffusion activity by potassium permanganate or copper sulfate crystals. This is diffusion activity. Then next important 4 mark question is filtration activity, diffusion activity, osmosis activity. Next important 4 mark question is, write the functions of plasma membrane. Many times it is asked. Write the functions of plasma membrane. These questions you have to write definitely in your class. Okay, just listening and reading is not good, because next step is 10th class. Be